Welcome again to my YouTube channel. Today is another great week. We are moving forward to look at the new week starting. So the market just ended, and we are actually trying to see what actually happened during last week. And if you notice with our analysis last week, as we were having a chat and a discussion on our mentorship group, and we did talk much about how dollar is getting strength, and we can see how that played out throughout last week. So now our business here today is to look at um, what the market have for us for next week. And when you look at next week and you also look at the fundamentals, you will see that come Monday, the 14th of October, we are going to have bank holiday for JPY pairs. I mean, for all the Japanese pairs, it's going to be a bank holiday. So there's nothing going to be nothing serious going to happen tomorrow when it comes to Japanese yen. And we have some tentative news on when it comes to the Chinese yen. And then we have PPI, so it's low impact fundamental. So Monday, I don't expect something much to happen on Monday because Canadian dollar we have bank holiday, US pairs we have bank holiday. So tomorrow Monday we don't really have something big to look out for on Monday. So when it comes to Tuesday, we have some small heavy things to deal on Tuesday. We have the Great British Pound count change. We have some heavy impact news on the British pounds. And also 1 p.m. that's during the New York session. We're going to have the Canadian CPI. Now this is a fundamental that a lot of people always neglect, but it's always very heavy and it's always good to trade, just like the NFP and the CPI. The Canadian dollar CPI is always heavy too, so that is something I'll be looking out for to trade during on Tuesday during New York session, Canadian dollar. And then Wednesday we have GBP. We have CPI too with pound. The pound is going to have their own CPI, and that will be on 7 a.m. That means before New York Open, London Open. Sorry, we have CPI for Great British Pound, and then on Thursday, you have another high impact news too on the Australian dollar. They have the unemployment claims, and then lastly on Friday, and during the London session, New York session will have some heavy impact for the dollar, and then that will be all. And then on Friday we'll have retail sales for the Great British Pound. So you see this week we have high impact news mostly on Canadian dollar and with the Great British Pound. So enough being said about the fundamental analysis. Now let's dive into the chart and talk about the technical analysis on what we are looking out for during this week that's coming Monday the 14th till Friday. So looking at this, we're starting this on the daily time frame. We see but first, I would like to go on the weekly time frame for us to understand why dollar is actually buying. So we can clearly see that here, as the market came for this higher time frame PDRA, clear this liquidity here. What happened? We have that push to the upside, and this is one of my favorite setup. We had the push to the upside after clearing liquidity. What do we see? Price did what? So we understand that price, the market is coming from this level down here, right? The market is coming from this level after clearing the liquidity. What happened? After taking other low, so that's a clear form of turtle soup, taking other low. We now go to the 1 day time frame. What do we see? We have a shift in market structure here, right? We have a shift in market structure. This was a high, so I have that first change in character here. But when you scale to a smaller time frame, you discover the change in character actually happened here, right? So this was the turtle soup, price turtle soup the low, and spike to the upside. Right, so now this is where we have our shift in market structure, right? On the higher time frame, shift in market structure. So we call that change in character around that level. And so around this level now, this is an area where we can start seeing some rejection. Like I said, Monday is a day that we just need to watch out and just see how the market will play during that day, because now this is our next candle range high. Because the market broke out structure from here, and this is a candle range high. So we are going to see some, something of this nature here, something of this rejection vibe actually playing here, like this here. Now let me take this out so you can clearly see this out. So you can have something of this nature playing here, yeah, something like this. So you expect this to play around here. maybe to reject to come to the downside, and it maybe will react from here because we have this fair value gap here, react from here, or it will react from here. These are zones that you need to look out for to have that reaction of price when it comes to the market for next week. So those are areas we need to see price react from, right? Now let's skip to the 4 hours time frame. On the 4 hours time frame, on the 4 hours time frame, on the 4 hours time frame, what do we see? This was supposed to be a demand zone, a supply zone rather, right? So this is a failed supply zone. And what happened? It was violated and had a small retest to it and price push. Now you see why I said we expect price to come retest from here. Now we have this first pullback and we call that inducement. Call this inducement. So we expect price to come a little bit to the downside and collect. But hence, what we're seeing now, we have this break of structure here. We have this break of structure here. So, and this is another level here. It's inducement. And also, if you can see here, break of structure left behind a fair value gap. And there could still be some amount of liquidity resting for price to collect. So below here, we have this as liquidity. So price could still come. Now, as we are breaking down further, what can we see here? We can see that we have this area here still resting. So, of course, dollar is actually bullish. It's actually bullish. So we are expecting price to react from this area. So these now are zones you need to watch out for when analyzing. So when you come to my mentorship group, my students, they know this. When I put out something like this, then it means I want to pay keen attention to what price will do when it will get here, right? I want to pay keen attention to what price will do when it will get here, because what price will do will get here on the smaller time frame. We want to see now that shift in market structure here, and then we can take in the trade. We don't get a confirmation, we don't enter the trade. So once we can see that, the moment we see that price engineer liquidity and collect and shift structure and then give us that bullish engulfing candle, or you see that clear turtle soup, then we can actually take a buy. Taking the buy, targeting the end of the range for our final TP, right? For our final TP, that will be targeting the end of the range. 50% of the TP can be collected, right, at 50% of the range, right? So 50% can be collected 50% of the range, and maybe that could be here in case that's happen, right? It will happen that way, or we can take it around this level. But we are not doing that now because we need to get a confirmation first, and that is why I say we don't predict price. We just react to what the market gives us, right? We do not predict price. We just react to what the market will give us when it comes to price in the market. So when it comes to market forecast, I don't really like looking at it going to a smaller time frame. I just like to stay on the 4 hours and trying to look at the possible zones where price will actually react from. So I have my eyes playing on this level. Should in case this level fails, then of course I will be looking out for another level, which is down here, right? So we want to be precise and be careful with our entries. So these are zones I want to see price react from. The moment I see price react from here, then I'll take my buys from here, targeting this low. But if price now, here's something interesting. If price should fail from here, then this my demand will automatically become my supply. I'll wait for a small shift here, and then I take a trade targeting this level here, or 50% of this fair value gap you see here. But aside from that, these are my plans for next week. So I'll be putting my interest on these zones and having my eyes and trying to see what the market will provide for me when it gets to that level. So this is my view. This is my view when it comes to DXY on the higher time frame. I am still looking at that bullish nature, seeing level where price need to come and collect this level. These are areas where price need to come collect. So I will pay keen attention to those areas. So these are areas I want to have my interest on. These are areas where price need to come collect, areas of liquidity. These are the next draw on liquidity. And price wouldn't just fly to the upside. Price needs to pull back a little bit, tap maybe on this fair value gap down here or here, 50%, and start pushing up. But these are targets that you should look out for when it comes to DXY on the higher time frame. Aside DXY, I'm looking at the next currency, which is gold. Which is gold. Actually, gold during the CPI, I was actually buying gold and I collected my profit, but this is the move I see gold actually going to. And it's with the same strategy. It's with the same strategy that we are still looking at for gold. So I'm still seeing gold to collect this higher. You know, gold have been buying and buying and buying. So we have not seen any reason why gold should sell. So let's look at gold on the 1 day time frame and still see why gold is actually buying and actually understand what we should look out for next week. So when it comes to gold, on the one higher time frame, gold is still giving us series of highs. So see how gold reacted from here. This was a fair value gap here. Nothing to stress of. Now, if you're a trader, you are watching this video for your first time and you still don't understand what is fair value gap, order block, all this stuff, I'm still offering a discount on my mentorship group. If you really want to understand how to analyze the chart like this, how to read market action like this, how to understand price with this nature, then I would suggest for you to click the link in my bio. You have my WhatsApp number. You can take my private mentorship. My private mentorship is going now. It's on a discount, $100, which is 50K for Cameroon traders. $100. All you need to do is create a link with the XNES, create an account with the XNES link, which is on the description below. Fund $50, and then you can join my mentorship group for just $100. With that, you will have lifetime access. You have my classes, you have my lectures, you have lifetime and full-time access to me and free coaching and free mentorship. So if you want to become a pro and learn how to analyze the chart like this, then I'll give you the option where you can learn with other traders and learn how to analyze the market like this. So back to the chart, as we can see here, there is this fair value gap sleeping here, and just the way price is reacting to that fair value gap is just telling that it's actually something that's going to be strong. And where is price actually going to? It's actually coming for this next high. This is the next draw on liquidity, and that is the reason why I was actually buying, because all through here we have this liquidity sleeping here, and price is definitely going to come for that liquidity to actually clear out the external range liquidity. So that's one thing about gold. You should only look for buying opportunities on gold, except when you see gold taking out these structures here. So when you look at gold on the 4 hours time frame, it's still the same thing. It's still the same thing. Gold is in an uptrend and there's nothing you can do about it. So if you have been struggling to sell gold, there's nothing you can do about it. So you see this nice, beautiful entry here. We had this level here, price to soup this low here, and what happened to the upside. So look at this good, nice entry, the one we caught for the CPI. You have your other block here, boom, and that's price shooting to the upside. Just imagine you understand how to read the chart like this, and you were able to catch this move from here, targeting this high here. That's a good amount of profit you just made yourself. That's a good amount of profit. Now, there's always another opportunity. So when you miss entries like this, what do you do next? What do you do next? This is another area where we could see price reacting from. This is another area where price could actually react from. So what do you do here? You have your inducement sleeping here. You have your inducement sleeping here. So you want to have your eyes. You want to have your eyes down on this zone to see what price will do when it gets to this level. When it comes to this market forecast, like I said, I always like us to stay on the higher time frame to actually see. So watch out for this area. Watch out for this area and try to see what price. When it comes to gold, you need to be extra patient. You need to be extra patient, because when you take in the wrong, gold will always trick you when it comes to your entries. Gold will trick you when you come to your entry. Imagine you were not patient here and price came for this liquidity. Imagine, just imagine, you had your entries around here and price came back, collected you and moved to your direction. You have to be actually patient, wait for price to engineer that liquidity and then actually collect the liquidity before you jump into the trade. Patience in trading is one of the most underrated things that a lot of traders are still facing to implement. But with the moment you are patient, you can cash good entries and target good risk to reward. Good risk to reward. And if you're in my mentorship group, I always talk about this all the time. I always try to emphasize on this, the access of patience. Now, a lot of traders will say they don't like trading gold because it's too risky and heavy. But when you understand risk management, you can actually trade everything. The moment you understand risk management, you can actually trade everything, because this is actually a 1:3 risk reward on trade on gold, right? And you can actually trade everything. So this is what you can get, 500 pips on that one right there. So this is my view on gold. This is what I'm looking at on gold. I'm still expecting more buys, but I want to see how price will react on this level. So if you are following my analysis, when it comes next week, just try to look at this area price to 6:30. You want to see how price will react on gold on this level. So that is that with gold. That is that with gold. And last but not the least on our chart, we try to look at GBPUSD. After GBPUSD, we'll end our day with EURUSD. So on GBPUSD, this is the 1 day time frame, and what can you see? A clear uptrend. You can see just from the direction of the market, you can see this is a clear uptrend, right? Clear uptrend on the higher time frame. So you can see the market giving us higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. But we need to look at left and to the left to the higher time frame to understand where is the market coming from and where is it going to. As a trader, these are some things that you need to know. These are some questions you need to know in order to understand what to actually do. So we have this high here that was collected, liquidated, and what can we see here? After price collected, price dropped to the downside, and now this will have this sweet area of liquidity slipping here. This first pullback, we can call that our inducement. Now this data is enough for me for the 1 day time frame, 1 week time frame. So here, what do we have here? We have this fair value gap and another block slipping above. Price have not yet tapped on that fair value gap. If we can look slightly here, have this weekly high here. Price just tapped on it, but not actually entered into the fair value gap. So there are some chances that this thing might actually go up, but we'll see in the future. So back on the 1 day time frame, what are we seeing? What are we seeing here? This is something now interesting. So on the 1 day time frame, this is a weekly low, right? So on this is the low of Wednesday, 11th of September, and this is the low of Thursday, the 12th. So that low was taken out, and the next candle formed inside. This is the candle of Friday. Excuse me. This is Friday's candle. So we had this low taken out. So now let's try to understand what's actually going on here. But if we can look on our left, we can see that there was actually another block here, and this other block was acting like a breaker, or it's actually a breaker. And when price tapped into it, what happened? There was a shift. There was a breaking structure to the upside. So this is the low that caused that. So are there some signs that this price could continue going up on the higher time frame? Yes, we are actually seeing some rejections at that level. Price actually created some amount of liquidity here that we will see when we scale down to a smaller time frame, like the 4 hours. Excuse me, please. Like the 4 hours, you see, price engineered a lot of liquidity there, and actually collected. But if you can clearly see that we've been having some series of breakout structures, price actually pulling to the downside, breakout structures, price actually pulling to the downside, breakout structures, price actually pulling to the downside, price actually pulling down to the downside. So what can you see here? After price did that, so we are still in a downtrend though. Nothing has changed, right? Nothing has changed until when we see this high here violated. The moment we see price take this high, okay, then we're going to come down and say, okay, maybe we are shifting structure. So we're going to come down and actually look for more buy. So on a higher time frame, excuse me, this is what I am seeing. I scaled down on my 1 hour. So now we know, now I know, and you should know that price is actually on a higher time frame key level, and we want to see the reaction of price when you get to that key level, right? You want to see the reaction of price when you get to that key level. First, when price start on that key level, it gave us this. So I was actually on this buy, and I sent this buy to the Signal group. Now, if you want to belong to my Signal group, you have my WhatsApp number on the link below. You can click that WhatsApp number and get to me directly. You can join my Signal group for just $30 a month. Sorry, $25 a month. That is 15,000 francs a month. So around this level, price tapped level, and we had a small tiny entry here of which we later closed because we had some news coming out that was PPI. So we just made a quick profit here that was made. So we had this entry here, and if you can check my Instagram, sorry, Telegram channel. I send this setup on the Telegram channel, so make sure you're on the Telegram channel. The link is in my bio, right? The link is down in the description below. So we had this nice trade here, 1:2 simple trade that we caught on the Friday. Knowing fully well that Friday always like to end within the range. So we have this high here. So we have this high here. We have this high here now that we need to see how price will come next week. So these are some levels you need to consider when preparing for next week or when looking at the chart for next week. So what I am seeing is this. I still see price struggling, or price will try to collect this liquidity to the upside. So this is a nice area of liquidity. And if we should see that push to the upside, we expect a small retest, and then boom, you should have your target here. Nice trade. Trust me, if you are patient and you have good risk management, just catching this move alone, you have nothing to do again in the neighborhood of next week, because this is going to be a good trade that if you are patient and if it forms and you capitalize and catch it, you will be going in for a nice trade with 1:3 risk to reward on that one. 1:3 risk to reward. You'll be going for 100 pips. Now 100 pips with a good lot size can make a good lot amount of money. So next week guys, please, I just want you to pay attention to this level. And the moment you see that break to this level here, expect a small pullback, and you can look for your entry level around some zones area. Maybe you can get your confirmation from the lower time frame, like the 15 minute or 5 minute, and you can catch that. You can go maybe if you win 1:5 or 1:4. So, but before you do that, always make sure you get your confirmation before taking the trade, right? Before taking the trade. Now, this might be confusing new traders. If you are not understanding what I'm talking about, higher time frame key levels, other blocks, change your character, and other stuff, you need the mentorship group where I will teach you advanced level of technical analysis. You don't need to be a trader trading alone. You need a community that they keep practicing and taking trade every day. This is how you can get to a level of being a pro. Don't be a lone trader. Try as much as possible to belong to the community. And what I'm actually providing now is very cheap. It's very cheap. The more you are in my classes, the more you are following my lectures, the more you understand this concept. And for you to have that insight of me, you need to come in for the private mentorship. It's actually cheap now. 50K is just a small money for you, Cameroonian. 50K is a very small money. $100, that's all you need to have lifetime access to my community. Take the chance, take the opportunity, and grab this opportunity while it's still cheap and while I still have the time to teach you. So please take the opportunity. So for next week, we want to have our eyes here to see how price will react on these levels here. So all of these, I'll send them to the Telegram channel. So make sure you are following the Telegram channel. And last on the list, we are looking at our EURUSD. EURUSD. Now we know EURUSD always move the same opposite direction with DXY. So while DXY is falling, EURUSD is going up. While EURUSD is going up, DXY is falling. Now, back on the chart. When you look at DXY on EURUSD, what can you see? We're actually on an uptrend too, right? We're actually on an uptrend. So when you look at this level, you see that this liquidity here was collected, price give another entry here, and you have that break of structure here, and you see price is actually on this higher time frame key zone. So now our interest is based on this level here and on this levels here. So back on the smaller time frame, we want to see what price is having for us, but let's actually expand so we can actually see what's actually going on here. So I take out every drawing and I try to see. We have this nice area here was acting like another block. This area here, this whole area here is another block for us. And now what is price doing? Price tap into that other block. And I seen some rejection, and the market closed with a bullish candle. Good, very nice, very cool. So is there something where price will come down to? Yes, there's an area where price will come down. So this level here, this low here is acting like a liquidity, and this area here is acting like another block. But first, we need to see if that zone will fail. So around this level, what we don't want to see is price closing above here, taking this high. And when price takes out this high, we expect that push back to the upside. Okay, so now having the information we have here, price is actually sleeping on a higher time frame key zone, just like GU. Price is actually sleeping on a higher time frame key zone, just like GU. So we had this area here. These were some lows here. Price collected that low and closed above. Closed above. Now on the 4 hours, we are trying to see what price is actually telling us on the 4 hours time frame. Don't ever underestimate the importance of the higher time frame. It's always very, very important. So we have now a high here. So what we don't want to see is actually a candle closing above here. The moment we see a candle closes above here, then we are seeing some reversals coming in. Remember back in our private mentorship group, I talked about we're about to have some reversals on these major currencies, GU and EU, DSY, about to have some reversals. So if you're having the reversals on this, for you to start buying, then of course that means the XY should be selling. So what you want to have your eyes on is this range. This is the candle range now. But we seem to have a candle range here, but now let's focus on this one here. We have this low here. And what we don't want to see is how price will take out these levels here, right? How price will take out this level here. So on the 1 hour time frame, you see this is the range. You have the high here, we have the high, and we have the low. If we see price take out this high, that means we are going to go for up longs in this market. So what are we going to do? We're going to have a small pullback a little bit, maybe to this fair value gap here, and then price will actually buy to the upside. So understanding this, price is on a higher time frame key level. Never forget where price is coming from and where price is going to. So you want to have your eyes around this level, right? You want to have your eyes around this level. Eyes here. Understanding what the fundamentals are telling us, right? Understanding what the fundamentals are telling us. The moment we see a candle take out this high, then it's going to be definitely, and it depends the nature of which takes it out, right? So you have to be careful. Once you see a candle close above here, right? And then we expect to come back down, because if you can look at this chart as of now, you can see that we have this nice liquidity area sleeping here. So if that should happen, they'll expect a small pushback to that, clearing all the liquidity, and then we are targeting the next level of liquidity, the next draw on liquidity, which is this area up here. And just like GU, like I said, if you can catch these moves, you can be going in for a good trade that will keep you up for the whole week. If you can be patient to see all of this happen, you catch that move, you are good to go for the week. So today's video, that's all I can say, and we are done with our analysis. So see you on the next one. See you on the next one. Bye bye. I remain one big marathon. Like I said, make sure you join our community. The link is on the Telegram channel. The link is below. Link for my WhatsApp number, you have my WhatsApp below. The link for my best and recommended broker I can recommend to everybody, you have that below. So I want to wish you best of luck and see you on my next video. One big marathon. Signing out.